Hi friends, this is the continuation video of the JWT token user authentication and authorization. In my previous video, I showed you the Angular part, how to call the service and how to set the JWT token in the local storage or in cookies you can say it, and how to send this token in each and every API call using the HTTP interceptor. Now in this video I'm going to show you the NodeJS part, the API end. So let's start. So whenever user is giving the username and password here and clicking on the login button, it will call the API and it will hit the node endpoint. So let me hit that one. Okay, the endpoint is user slash login. So we have this user slash login section, and as you know, we have the I'm using Express here to create the server, and I also have the MySQL database software connection. I'm starting the server, and so when user hit the endpoint, I'm calling the authentication service and user login service from the authentication or the JS. So what this login function will do, it will get the details, email and password, or username and password it can take, and it's forming the URL query, forming the SQL query. So it's selecting all the details from the DB MySQL database using the email and password. So if we are getting any error, we are returning that error, and if we are not getting any error but we have some data, so first consider that we don't have any username or user with that username and password, we will send the failed response, user not found message, with user not found message. Okay, now if we have the user, so what we'll do, we will get those details in string5 format and we'll put it in a variable called data, and with those details we'll also we'll need also secret key, which in my case I have set like my secret key. This is the constant. With those details, whenever I'll sign the JWT sign method using JWT sign method, whenever I'll be signing, I'll need these details. Payload, what will have in the payload, I will have the IIT, it will be only the timestamp, and whatever I'm not going details on this because anytime you can get all these details from the JWT JSONWebToken website from the npm.js itself. So these are the details I need to send. We'll set the expression date, time, and we'll call the jwt.sign method. Using that, we'll also set the secret key and we'll mention the algorithm for the encryption type. Right. And one point to consider here, that in the payload we'll also send in the data. Right. So if the JWT is unable to create a token, it will return an error, and this error will be returned. So error in while generating a token. Now the happy flow is the token created. Now user is authenticated basically. We'll send all these details that authentication has been successful, and with this data we'll send the user info. The user info we will be sending, we'll be sending the username, first name, last name, this kind of thing, the photo, profile picture, and with this we'll be also sending the token, which will be in turn set in the local storage cookie. So that's all. And if we don't have the token here, simply we will say could not create a token. Now that's the authentication part. So let me try to log in with some incorrect data. See, I give something here, this user is not there, so invalid login credentials. Probably I'm getting this one, user not found, and from this UI end I'm showing this message, invalid login credentials. Now the authentication part, authorization part. Now say, since I have the users page for the logged in user only, so once I hit the users page, the API will be called. Okay, I have said something wrong here probably. Yeah, I have already said the test here, so let me remove that. So I'll have that in the interceptor while whenever we'll be calling the API, we will be setting those header auth token using the interceptor. Okay, so let me log in here. Now the interceptor is sending the correct JSON data, current auth token, and we are getting the response. So the auth token is sending auth token is being passed every time with the API call. So this is the token using which JWT will do the authorization. So the endpoint is user list. Let's again go to server.js and we have user list, then we are calling user.userList. So go to the user page and user list. This is the user list, and see we are taking the auth token from the body or from the header, however user will send from the UI side, and we are checking the auth token is valid or not using the verify token. So verify method. The verify function is basically one jwt.verify method, while we'll be passing our secret key and the token, and the JWT will return either true or false. I have also handled this using trial case. In case it does not it gives any kind of error, it will go to the catch section and it will return as false. So if it's verified, then it will continue the normal process. It will get the details from the database and send the UI. And if it's failed, we will just return. Initially we will have to set the status the 401, that is not authorized, and then we will set that this failed invalid token, and we don't need to send anything in the data. So this is the case where the token is incorrect. So this one is the case when that block will execute the verify. This one you can see I have already sent this wrong details in the auth token, and JWT is unable to verify that, so it's false, and that's why it's returning us that 401. So this is the simple process in the node section. It's the using JWT. And one thing to mention here, I am using the password here without any encryption. So in real scenario it will not be the case. We'll have to use some kind of encryption, MD5, or you can use the encryptor package to encrypt your password and store in DB. So this sort of thing. So if you like this video, please comment me, and if you have anything in mind to, if you want me to create any video on a particular topic, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you.